Hey guys, welcome back to more Mazda saga. I'm replacing the starter for a second time with a new starter. The last one I got was remanufactured. You guys don't care about that. We're going to do a quick walkthrough on what it takes to replace a starter on a Mazda Protege5 or any Mazda 2-liter engine, the FS engine. First thing you want to do is pull your air intake or air cover. There's two plugs here. I think they're push type. They pop off pretty easy. The easiest thing to do with this is just pull this off your valve cover gasket, and then you loosen that. It's 10 mil, and you gently, there's going to be two hoses on this. You can pull straight up on it. It'll probably be really stuck in there if you've never replaced or pulled this piece out. This is a very common piece to replace. On the bottom side, when you pull it out, make sure it doesn't have any cracks in it, because if you have the original, it probably will be cracked on the bottom and you'll want to replace this at the same time. So one screw, that pops out, and then you get down to the bottom part of your air box. There's one 10 mil here, another 10 mil here. I threaded it back onto the car so I wouldn't lose the nut. You pull out your battery. So there'll be a 10 mil on this side, you loosen this side, and then you give it like a half turn and take that one off and pull it out. These are the bottom tray for your battery. So I'll show you that in a second. Sorry, we're going on a ride. Okay, so those screws were just so you can get your tray loose, and you get tray loose and pull it free. These, it helps to have the tool that I don't have on top right now. So squared off O-ring pick, so you can push the tabs to get these loose. So you'll want to try to get this one pulled off, and probably that one, and you want to be gentle with this wire. So once you have that free, then you can get to the bolts. Now I should mention this is a standard transmission, but I think the bolts are in the exact same spot on auto, with the exception of there being maybe one fewer bolt. So there's a bolt there, and a bolt back there. That one, when I originally took this off, was cross-threaded from the factory, so I ended up putting a lot of force on this. I've been having starting issues since then. I'm hoping it was a botched starter job, and the starter itself doesn't crank very hard, so I'm hoping when I put the new starter in, that'll fix it. But it's possible, if you follow this wire, it goes places where you don't want to have to mess around. So I could have damaged the wire inside, or I could have damaged something in there, but let's just hope that this solves my problem. My other new starter, you can see the top there, it's all loose. So these are new bolts, because like I said, one of them was cross-threaded and wrecked. Those are the two from the top, they're a little longer. There's one on the bottom, and we'll slide under there real quick and take a look. Oh, good luck, sorry. Okie dokie. Okay. You might be able to see better than I can. We'll see. So there's going to be a bolt. The third and final bolt is just above this one. And I can't get it to focus exactly, but you probably will see that I think was originally a 12 mil, but the new one wasn't. And then that plug is a pain in the butt. So you will get your starter loose, and I'm not going to be able to show this because I need both hands, but you need to support the starter, and then I don't remember exactly. I think it's a push type, but it's difficult to get at. I'll probably put a note in the video, so make sure you turn on the little caption boxes when I'm talking about this part. So I'll be able to tell you then, but I kind of mangled that plug last time, and that's a important piece. So that could also be my problem. My next step, if this doesn't work, is I'm gonna build myself a hot wire button to start my car, and hopefully that doesn't have to happen, but it could. So anyway, that's what you do to get the starter loose. Getting it out of the bottom is kind of a pain, unless you got really tiny arms. I'm kind of a fat guy, and yeah, working under here is unpleasant. But the top section, if that one bolt isn't cross-threaded, should go okay. So maybe I'll do another video on the end of this and stick it together, but I hate editing. So that's how you get down this far, and I haven't seen any other videos that showed that much. So anyway, good luck. Okay, a couple quick notes. Round 2 of putting this starter in. Okay. Well, like I just pointed out, I think... where's the starter at? Okay, we're going to sneak through this hole. So, this is a socket I have on the bottom nut, or a bolt rather, to get the starter in. Let's see if I can sneak you up here so you can see. Okay, this isn't going to be very easy, but to get the starter in, if you're working alone, I used, this is just anything for a shim, but I took this and I set it in this gap, and set the starter on top of it so it's close, and then I went back up to the top of the car, and with that shim in there, and I looked really carefully over there, like where the starter touches on the flange, and I made sure that it was close, so then when I put the bolt screw on top, I could start threading those in by hand. And as soon as I got those started by hand, it was no big deal, but trying to get this thing started without is a pain in the butt. And most smart people, you should take this piece out, this brace, but mine is stuck on there so hard that I can't get it off. I don't have small enough impact tools. I'm pretty sure you need the really fancy impact tools to get if you get those two loose and then those two loose, this would come off and your life would be way simpler. So if you can try to get this off, good luck. But I'm sure that even if I got the two bottom ones loose, I'm sure these two top ones are really, really screwed. So you should take that off. But you can, if you finagle the starter through really carefully, you kind of stand it on end and stick it all the way up through, and then you can turn it and then put it back in. But there is definitely a trick to it, so don't get too frustrated and don't start jerking on stuff. So it goes, but just have patience with this job, and if it starts pissing you off too much, I guess you're just going to have to set things down and walk away from it, because it does go, but you just got to keep trying at it. So